Hallo Miners, welcome back. I am back. Sorry for missing last week. I was out of town doing some work stuff, but today we are playing some more energy. I'm not gonna lie, I saw this list in a 3BNU video, and I'm like, okay, I gotta give this a shot. I love the Orzhov colors. I like the way that the energy deck felt when I was testing it, and with the fact that I was a little disappointed with the league results, I wanted to give it another shot, and I loved the way that this build worked, because not only was it energy aggro, it also had an infinite I win the game combo in it as well. So this is pretty much, it's still got the same white energy base, Guide of Souls, Ocelot Pride, Static Prison. For black, though, what you're actually doing here is an infinite combo with Gravecrawler, Marionette Apprentice, and Warren Soultrader. So 2 new cards for Modern Horizons 3 here. Basically, if you can get all 3 of these on the battlefield, what you can do is you can stack the Gravecrawler to the Warren Soultrader to get a treasure token. The Gravecrawler dying will trigger your opponent to lose life because of Marionette Apprentice. You then replay the Gravecrawler from the graveyard using the treasure that you just created from the Warren Soultrader. Sacking the treasure will trigger the Marionette Apprentice as well, bringing the Gravecrawler back and resetting the board state to where you were. So every time you go through this loop, your opponent's going to be losing 2 life. The only caveat here is you lose 1 life per cycle, so you have to have at least half of the life total that your opponent has to be able to win using this combo. However, if you have Guide of Souls, every time you're recasting the Gravecrawler, you're also getting your life back, and that actually creates a truly infinite loop that also results in infinite energy as well. We also got a little bit of tech in here with Chthonian Nightmare. It's the new fixed Recurring Nightmare, which Recurring Nightmare is legal in Legacy. However, because of the fact that this runs off of energy, we have the energy engines as well. We're running that instead. As far as removal is concerned, we've got Static Prison, which is another way to generate energy if you don't really need it, but it also takes care of any non-land permanents. So it's a way to just delete whatever you need to, and it does only give you 2 energy, but you've got so many other energy generating engines in the deck that typically it's just going to be this thing is gone. And then Swords to Plowshare is just a catch-all creature answer. Then on the high end of the curve, you've got the Knight Errant of Eos, just to be a big body and to be able to dig for your combo pieces if you need it. And this is all just wrapped around a pretty standard Orzhov mana base. The only things that are kind of unique is it's an energy deck, so you've got Aether Hub, which is kind of to be expected. You've got 4 Wastelands, so you can kind of play the mana denial plan if you're trying to go the aggro route with your 1-drops like Ocelot Pride and Guide of Souls. And then there's a Spy Master's Vault in here as well, which you can actually do some kind of sneaky combo sort of stuff with that, with the same combo that you had going on between Warren Soultrader and Gravecrawler, where you can just keep sacking your Gravecrawler to Warren Soultrader and recasting it so that, like, a bajillion creatures died in a given turn, allowing you to connive for a bajillion to go either find your combo piece, just pump a creature some massive amount for lethal if you have to. So kind of just a one of fun of land there. The biggest thing I will say, and one of the reasons why I went for this deck, is the sideboard is more tuned to be able to combat combo decks. Deafening Silence, Mindbreak Trap, Thoughtseize, and Fairy Macabre all for various styles of combo decks here. Pretty much any style of combo, you've got at least something to try to attack it. It still is very weak conceptually to combo, because while you have, what would this be, 11 cards in your sideboard dedicated toward combo, it's still very precarious because they're not all good in every single combo matchup, and some of them are kind of dead against other things. Like Fairy Macabre doesn't really do a ton against Storm. You've only got 2 Mindbreak Traps for turn 0 protection. Deafening Silence is a house against the Storm decks, or like the Artifact combo decks, but it is like Stone Cold against Reanimator, basically. So while there is a ton of card or combo hate in the sideboard, it's very rare to have all of it come in a single matchup. So it is still very weak conceptually. And then you've got White Orchid Phantom, just to kind of go after the non-basic lands. So like punishing decks that don't run a lot of basics, tech for the Eldrazi decks that are running around all over the place right now. So this is Orzhov Energy Aggro. Like I said, I saw this deck in a 3BNU video, and I'm like, I gotta give it a try. So let's see if the black-white version of this deck will fare better through a league than the Boros version did, and actually put some wins on the board and kind of avenge the archetype, because I really do think it's actually a very good and strong archetype. It was just, that last video was just a really bad showing for it, and variance was just terrible. So let's take this through a league, see how it does. I will catch you all in the wrap-up. Alright, playing some Boros Energy here. Won the die roll. This is a great hand. Probably going to go get Basic Plains, Soul Guide Lantern, turn 2 Ocelot Pride. I will admit I have been like super scared of Wasteland lately, especially with these energy decks that have zero like selection or anything. Because I've run into mana problems so many times with these decks. I don't want to just get a non-game from getting wastelanded immediately. So through the course of this league, you're probably going to see me fetching basics when I don't actually need to, and can probably get away with a dual land, or probably should get a dual land. But I've just been wasted out of games so many times lately from these non-blue decks that I kind of preferentially go for Wasteland, especially with the Eldrazi stuff running around the way that it is currently. There's a lot of Wasteland and land hate going around to combat those, so I don't want to just end up in a non-game because of that. So, but we're going to stick with the plan here. Alright, start out with Marsh Flats, go grab a basic plane so that we don't get wastelanded. Basic planes, Guide of Souls, Ocelot Pride, go. Or if they present a blue land, I might just hold up Orcish Bowmasters. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. Like, this isn't a very combo-y hand, but this is a very good energy hand. And sometimes you can just run over the opponent with these, like, energy aggro starts. Oh, this isn't good. This is definitely Necrostorm. Which means we're probably not winning game one. Yeah, this is Necrostorm, because this is going to be a Manamorphose into double black. So basically we just got to hope that they fizzle on this draw 19 is basically all we got to hope for here. I will say at least this deck has more defense against combo stuff than the Boros Energy deck does. And I already know what we need to bring in for game 2. We kind of just got to hope that they fizzle off of this draw 19 here. So the chances of it are slim to none, but it's in RNGesus's hands now. Alright, let's see if they can string this together. Do they just actually have it, or are they going to have to like wheel their hand to try to find more? Okay, our opponent played some unnecessary cards and then finally showed us the tendrils here. So they had a turn 1, which is fine. It happens. Like, we only let them play it out because, as we've seen from my video playing this deck, there is a fail rate to this deck, but luckily, this version of the deck actually has some combo hate in the sideboard. So, Deafening Silences, Mindbreak Traps in, Thoughtseize in, Knight Errant is going to be way too slow, and honestly, the Chthonian Nightmares are going to be useless. They're not going to be removing our cards anyways. So bring in all this combo hate, take out just some of the slower value-y stuff, and run it like that. Okay, let's hope that we don't have to mulligan like crazy just to find hate here. Alright, turn 1 Deafening Silence. Hell yeah, we keep this. We got Silence, Thoughtseize, Mindbreak Trap, second Silence. We're just going to lock the opponent out of the game here. Alright, start off with the Scrubland, go into a Deafening Silence, see if that gets an auto scoop. Alright, opponent's going to see if they can muscle through this, I guess. Fortunately, I do need to find a way to win this game still, but I have so many lock pieces here that I'm feeling relatively good. I'm trying to think if these decks have any backup plans. Alright, so the question becomes, do I want to Thoughtseize or do I want to slam a second Deafening Silence here? Or I just get a land and I get to do both. Let's start with a Thoughtseize, actually. See what's going on over there, and then we'll see if we need to play the second Deafening Silence or not. Born Upon a Win, Necro Dominance, Pact of Negation, Dark Rit Summoner's Pact. So nothing here actually matters. We could take the Born Upon a Win and start trying to restrict their ways to be able to go off at instant speed in the end step if they ever find an answer to Deafening Silence. Yeah, we'll just take the Born Upon the Wind. Like, I'm trying to think. We might want to play out the second Deafening Silence here, but we also have Mindbreak Trap, but they have Pact of Negation. Let's just play it safe. We will go play out the second Deafening Silence. Grab another Scrubland, because land destruction is not going to be part of their game plan here. Oh, right. I can't do both. My bad. I was debating between playing a second land, or playing a second spell and using a filter land, but I honestly completely forgot. This is symmetrical. I'm not used to like having to want to play multiple spells in a turn, so our opponent is passing the turn, so I should have gotten a Scryland there. I just wasn't thinking clearly. Orcish Bowmasters? Okay, we're going to just flash that in so we can get a clock going. Okay, they're casting Summoner's Pact for a Foundation Breaker, but they can't cast it. And then they lose an upkeep. Oh, shit, never mind. Okay, no, never mind. Okay, so we have to try to do this a little differently here. I forgot that this is a creature spell, so they actually can cast it. So apparently I should have played the second Deafening Silence. But we are going to go ahead and try to do something here. Alright, so the timing of this is what's going to matter most. Because we know they have one Pact of Negation, so they're going to be able to counter one thing here. Alright, there's Necro, so what we could do is Mindbreak Trap this. But no, because the triggers are going to go on the stack after they draw, so they're already going to have the cards in their hand. So our best bet is to flash in afterward and hope that they only have one Mindbreak Trap, or one Pact of Negation. We also did get rid of one of the 3 Born Upon the Winds. So I think when they cast the Manamorphose is when I go for this. Because they won't have more mana to go over the top. We kind of just gotta hope that they only have a single Pact of Negation here. Alright, there's the Manamorphose. We know there's a Pact. Or they're just gonna let this happen? Or do they have more mana to try to go over the top of this? No? Okay. I'm surprised they didn't try to pact that. I'm a little confused. But it works, hey! Unfortunately, now we definitely have to have Mindbreak Trap in the main. I'm trying to think of what we even want to do here. Like, after we board it, I realized these Swords to Plowshares are basically useless unless I'm going to try to Swords my own creature to throw off their count. Wish I had more than 2 Mindbreak Traps now. I'm actually thinking maybe bringing the White Orchid Phantoms and get rid of the Plows. Just so we can try fucking with their mana. I know they have some basic swamps, but we'll see. Alright, we cannot keep this. This has 0 interaction. If I can survive a turn, this is great. It's just a question of, do we think we're surviving a turn? They kept on 7, which I'm assuming means that they have it. So I think we're going to mulligan until we hit a Mindbreak Trap. Down to 3. 2. I guess we're keeping this. As much as I don't want to. Well, that sucks. Just playing a mulligan simulator. If they got the turn 1, they got the turn 1. There's nothing we can do about it. They might second guess it now that they saw me mulligan this far. But we'll see. Nope, they're just going for it. Alright. I mean, we just gotta hope that they fizzle. That is the one bad, like, I don't think this is a particularly, like, dominant or overpowered deck that needs to be banned or anything, but it's kind of just, like, the fact that this deck in particular turns the whole matchup into basically just a mulligan simulator is just unfortunate. But we'll see. Maybe they fizzle, maybe they don't. There are times it does. So, it's looking like they're at least trying, so we will see if they manage to string it together or not. Okay, so after a whole bunch of unnecessary spells, our opponent finally went and grabbed a Tendrils for 20 for some reason. But, yeah, I mean, like I said, that's the one bad thing about this deck, is that, like, I don't think it's overpowered, I don't think it needs to be banned, it's just, it reduces the games into basically just a mulligan simulator. Like, even when I played this, I wasn't really feeling like I was really playing Magic much. I mean, it led to some funny things, but it was honestly very boring. But anyways, alright, on to the next one. Okay, on to round 2. Lost a die roll, but this is a pretty good hand for the most part, so we're going to keep this. We have some redundancy with Chthonian Nightmare. Hopefully this Ocelot Pride survives turn 1. Alright, Thundering Falls. What are we up against here? With a Force Negation? This could be Control. This could be, like, Crashing Footfalls. There's a lot of things this could be. I want to fetch a basic, but I don't think Wasteland is a thing based off of what I've seen so far. But we'll see. This also allows our Spymaster's Vault to come in untapped, which opens up Orcish Bowmasters for next turn. Okay, Ponder. So it's not Crashing Footfalls. This is probably either, like, Beanstalk control or Jeskai control based off of what I'm seeing here. It could also be Show and Tell. Okay, they swords to that. That's okay, I guess. We have Orcish Bowmasters as a backup plan here. Unfortunately, with it being exile, it means Chthonian Nightmare doesn't do anything, but this is looking like Jeskai control. Alright, Opponent casts a Ponder off of an island. We're going to try to Bowmasters here. See if they've got... Ooh, Dress Down. Okay. So is this like Jeskai Stifle Knot then? Oh, that's annoying, but it should shut down future cantrips. Opponent chose not to shuffle off of that. Unfortunately, now we've only got a 1-1 on the battlefield, but we have another one, which I like. So we'll see if we can flash another one in here. Alright, so our opponent has a draw stop set Flage. Interesting. While annoying, it's not the end of the world. They don't have the second white to be able to get it back. So this is just Jeskai control. Alright, we're going to flash in another Bowmaster here. They could brainstorm over the top of this, which they are. But I want to do this specifically to be able to play Chthonian Nightmare to get the other Orcish Bowmaster back. Fortunately, this Flage coming back is a bit of a problem here, but we do have a Static Prison to get rid of it here, at least temporarily, once it comes back. Wasteland is interesting. That actually gets them off of their white as well. And then... yeah, I don't need to worry about the Flage coming back yet, so I'm going to tap the Karakas. I was just debating if I wanted to do that or not. Because Karakas is a way to at least get Flage off the battlefield. And this gets them even further away from being able to actually cast Flage out of the graveyard. And I've got an engine going now. Alright, they had the other white source. Pending on one of the Bowmasters. Okay. All this exile-based removal is mildly problematic. Knight Captain of Eos. That's honestly probably my best bet here. Try to refuel my hand a little bit here. Hope that they don't have another white source to be able to get Flage back right away. Actually, just dawned on me I should have Marionette Mastered first, but oh well. Guide of Souls, Gravecrawler. I think I want Gravecrawler and Guide of Souls here, because this allows me to potentially backdoor in a combo. Alright, they're digging, so hopefully that means that they can't find their second white source. If they do, I have Static Prison to try to get rid of the Flage. Ooh, they're desperately digging here. This also gives me 2 threats big enough to survive Flage. They also could be a Terminus deck, which is mildly problematic. They do have that stop set in their draw phase, so it is very possible that they are a Terminus deck. I don't know if these Jeskai controlled exploit Terminus or not. Okay, no Terminus. Alright, there's their second white source. If they're just getting Flage back, I'm okay with that. 5 mana. Wrath of the Sky. Oh, okay, that's actually mostly fine, since this is Destroy. So I actually, if I draw a land, I can get Bowmasters back, which would actually be really sweet. Untapped land? Warren Soultrader. I mean, that's the combo next turn. Let's start with a Guide of Souls here. And then probably the Marionette Master, because I have a feeling Flage is going to come back next turn. Grab a Servo. Always yield to this. I'm thinking they might aim the Flage at the Guide of Souls, but we'll see. Yeah, this is Flage coming back. We'll see what they aim it at. We do have the Recursion, though, which is nice. So if we have to and they hit the Marionette Master, we can always prison the Flage. Okay, it is going after the Guide of Souls, so in theory, if we hit a untapped land and our opponent has no interaction, we can just win on the spot. It just becomes a, do we want to risk going for it if we hit the untapped land? We hit the untapped land. They haven't had any other interaction yet. I say we just go for it. Yeah, we're doing it. That pause there was mildly problematic, but we're just going to try to go for it. Okay, so far nothing. Always yield to this ability. Always yield to this ability. And the opponent skipped it up. Alright, we got an infinite combo win against the Jeskai control deck. Alright. Game 2. They seem to be a relatively greedy mana base. I don't know how many basics they have, so I'm thinking the White Cloud or the White Orchid Phantoms might be pretty good here. That being said, I definitely want Thoughtseizes in. I think I want Fairy Macabres in to be able to get rid of a Flage once it hits the graveyard. But maybe that's too much, because I've got Swords to Plowshares and Static Prison to deal with a Flage if I need to. So maybe I don't need the Fairy Macabres. We did see that they do have basics, so maybe the White Orchid Phantoms are going a little too deep. So let's not take those. They have so much exile-based removal. I think trimming some of the Chthonian Nightmares is probably the correct answer here. Like, trim some number of them, and possibly trim some number of Night Captains. Let's just do 2 fairies, because really all it's in here for is Flage. So yeah, let's bring in 2 fairies, 2 Thoughtseizes, take out 2 Knights and 2 Chthonian Nightmares, and try that. Alright, I am back now. This is a pretty good hand, so we're gonna go ahead and keep this. We got a Thoughtseize, we have Gravecrawler, we have 2 of the 3 combo pieces. So I'm thinking turn 1, we probably just slam an Ocelot Pride. Okay, I like Static Prison a lot. Yeah, I think we're just going to go ahead and Ocelot Pride right off of the bat, try to get a threat down, and if that draws removal, so be it. Because what I'd like to do is get to the point where I can try to get the entire combo down in 1 turn with this Thoughtseize. Alright, interesting. Just playing basics and passing, so it's a good thing I didn't bring in the White Orchid Phantoms. We'll play a Polluted Delta. We're going to swing in. This Ocelot Pride is honestly more of a distraction than anything at this point for the opponent. Okay. Opponent had a weird pause before combat, but this also could be just like a small Wrath of the Skies just to wipe this stuff off the board. Well, it's not. Is it? No, it's a Narset. Okay. Narset's easy enough to kill. A Swords to Plowshares. Okay, well, I can strip that from their hand and get rid of Narset. Or do I even care about Narset? We're going to get a Shadowy Backstreak, get some selection, see what we can find here. Okay, I like Guide of Souls, so we'll actually put that on top and keep it. We are going to go ahead and start out with the Thoughtseize. Just see what's going on over there. Alright, Wrath of the Skies, Swords, and a bunch of lands. I'd rather lose 1 creature than a whole bunch. And let's just try to overload the Swords to Plowshares as much as possible. We will play Karakas, start out with the Guide of Souls, run this out, get our stuff, attack Narset to the point where it can't be used again, and we don't draw extra cards anyway, so I'm A-okay with this. And then they've just got a bunch of lands and a swords. They have to choose what they want to get rid of. I'm assuming they go after the Guide of Souls. And now this Narset is mostly just a distraction. Like, I don't need to deal with it anymore. We don't draw extra cards. Okay, they're going after the Guide of Souls, which I'm okay with. And there's a Flooded Strand. Okay, I like Fairy Macabre a lot. Let's get into combat here. Everything at face, because I don't care about this Narset anymore. And then let's play Warren Soultrader, so if they try to exile anything, I can just sack it instead. Alright, they're surveilling with a Meticulous Archive, that's fine. Ooh, been to 4th Aerolingus, okay. Basically, we just gotta dodge Wrath of the Skies, and we're actually good. Because Wrath of the Skies would be just absolutely devastating here. There's the other Flooded Strand, okay. We seem to be dodging it so far. We are 1 card away from the combo. Marionette Master? Spy Master's Vaults. Okay, that's actually interesting. Okay, I don't hate that, actually, because we can sack a bunch of creatures, make a bunch of mana, try to find the combo piece. Attack all creatures at face, and then, since they're blocking, unfortunately, I can't do a trick where I, like, connive one of these into a bunch of damage. They're down to 3. So I can connive the Gravecrawler, replay the Gravecrawler a few times to try to find the combo piece. I'm probably going to just do this a couple times, go down to 20 probably, and see if I can find the combo piece I need. I can actually do this for a bunch to find a Thoughtseize and the combo piece potentially. But I still need a decent amount of life left. Let's try it for like 10-ish. We'll go 1 more. Alright, let's see what this does. Let's connive. Discard. Wait, what? Why discard 6 cards? Is it discard then draw? I guess it's discard then draw? Oh shit, Narset, I'm an idiot. Oops. I totally forgot about that. I'm an idiot. Alright, well, we just gotta fade a turn, because I'm dumb. That was a major punt on my part. Hopefully that doesn't cost us the game. I think they've been to Mountain off of that, so it all just comes down to what is... yeah. This just comes down to what is their draw for the turn, and if they can't wipe the board, then we win. Okay, they could have wiped the board. We did not pay the price for that punt. Holy shit. But hey, that is like exactly what we want to see here, so... good game, opponent. I am an idiot and didn't think that Narset was going to matter, but it actually did. Kind of. But alright, on to the next one. Okay, on to round 3. Lost the die roll. This is an interesting hand. It's got a good amount of disruption in one of the combo pieces, plus some cantrip hate, so it kind of depends on what our opponent's on here. It's not particularly aggro, but it does also have all the lands we need. I think we're going to give it a shot and keep this. Our opponent kept on 6. Let's see what's going on here. This is looking like Storm. They don't have a turn 1, though. That being said, we are going to go ahead and get rid of this Lion's Eye Diamond. I think that is just very much the turn 1 play here. Just get rid of the Lion's Eye Diamond for a few turns to keep them off of being able to Storm. Even though I don't have a way to keep it around for now, it should be enough to screw with them. Or is this Dredge? Oh, this is Dredge. Interesting. Okay. This is not what I was expecting, but okay. So depending on what happens here... oh, it's a Sourtaru version of Dredge. Okay. So they could get Poxwalkers back by casting Otherworldly Gaze. But then we can get rid of Poxwalkers indefinitely. We also can get rid of Cephalid Coliseum here. Ocelot Pride is interesting. They're going to be able to get this back here at some point. I think we're going to go ahead and just take out the Cephalid Coliseum now. Because we have Swords to Plowshares to deal with this Poxwalkers. If we decide that's what we need to do. Unfortunately against Dredge, I'm thinking our combo is really the only way that we are going to be able to get out of this. There's a Bridge from Below. There's a Dread Return. What does Sourtaru do again? Whenever one or more creatures enters control, if none of them were cast and no mana was spent, draw a card. Okay. Well, let's get rid of the Poxwalkers. Just get that out of the way entirely here. Take this. They could Dread Return the Sourtaru, which it looks like is what they're doing here. Luckily, all these zombies hit the battlefield before Sourtaru does. Yeah, I think... alright, what can we do here? We have 2 of these. The problem is getting through all of these is going to be a problem. Yeah, I think we're just going to go to the next one. We're running into a bunch of weird decks today, which, I mean, it's great to see Legacy Healing after the Grief ban. But these are not decks that this deck was built to combat, really. That being said, we are going to go ahead and bring in the Fairy Macabres. I don't think Deafening Silence really does much here. I don't think Knight Captain does either. Or Knight Errant, so we're just going to do this. The secret to being able to beat Dredge is basically we just need to go wider than them or combo out. Alright, so we basically need to be able to combo out is the big thing here. Gravecrawler's interesting, but it can't block is the problem. We do have a Swords to Plowshares. Work our way up to this Knight Captain. I think we're going to try this. Because hopefully we can get to the point where this Knight Errant is able to get all of the creatures that we're missing here if we don't just naturally draw them. Grab a Scrubland, play a Gravecrawler, see how crazy our opponent's turn 1 ends up being here. Alright, no Lion's Eye Diamond right off the bat, so I like that. Okay, that's another one of our combo pieces. So we're just gonna go ahead and do our thing here. This is also a way to guarantee that we can blow, whatchamacallits? Bridge from Below? So we're probably going to go ahead and Surveil next turn. Unless they play something that I absolutely need to Swords. I'm assuming this is another Otherworldly Gaze. Yeah. Okay. How bad is it? Cabal Therapy, Dread Return, Faithless Looting. Okay. Careful study. Okay. They still have no dredgers yet, so I'm assuming this is to get dredgers in the yard. Okay, yeah. There's some dredgers. There's a Lion's Eye Diamond, so they can Faithless Looting here. One Narcomoeba hitting the battlefield here. One bridge from below? Two bridge from belows. Okay. I guess we will see what they decide to name here. I don't think it's worth doing anything here. Like, I don't know what they would even name. They might have the heads up play of Warren Soultrader. Like, that would be some next level shit if they actually named Warren Soultrader. I'm assuming they named something like Fairy Macabre. No, they named it Johnny, so they think I'm playing that. And they do have another Cabal Therapy, so they actually could name Warren Soultrader here. I guess we're going to see what they name. Worst case scenario, we're just going to Knight Captain and hope for the best. I didn't see they had a second Cabal Therapy. Yeah, they named Warren Soultrader. If we hit a Chthonian Nightmare, we can just get it back also. Grab a Shadowy Backstreet, see what we hit. Chthonian Nightmare would be great. Orcish Bowmasters? That doesn't do anything. Throw that in the yard. A Wasteland doesn't do anything here either. I think we're just going to go ahead and Knight Captain, try to find the cards I need. Marionette Apprentice and Ocelot Pride. Grab those and pass the turn. They are just... Let's see, I saw a Dread return, but they have no way to sacrifice this at the moment, because they only have one creature. So it's going to be, what do they hit off of their Dredge? They hit another Narcomoeba, so now they can Dread return. But what would they even get back here? They don't really have anything worth getting. They're Dread returning something. A Golgari Grave Troll, okay. They're going to grab some more zombies, which, I mean, the zombies are kind of just stonewalled. I have an answer for the Grave Troll, so I'm not super concerned about that. There's a Guide of Souls, okay. So we can do some stuff here. Let's start with Guide of Souls. Let's Ocelot Pride. Always yield to that. This is kind of how I get out of this now, assuming that they don't do anything else. Alright, so let's go. Do this. Swing in. Gravecrawler doesn't have trample, right? No. I was about to say, really, opponents? Alright, get some damage in, and then it just comes down to, do I want a Marionette Master, or do I want to Swords here? I mean, this is pretty much a stonewalled by cats anyway, so I think I just want to go ahead and Marionette Master. Because then if I can find a Chthonian Nightmare, I just combo out. Or maybe I'm not doing that. I did not realize that I clicked through my turn somehow, but whatever. This still gives me what I need. So, this is what? When a non-token creature dies? No, just when a creature. So token counts. Alright, so they've got a Poxwalkers, Stinkweed Imp, Coliseum. They don't have anything to sack with, right? There's just there's two Poxwalkers. And nothing they can do with any of it? Okay. See what they do here. They're going to combat. Alright. I am going to exile the Icarid so that they don't get more zombies. Yes. Or I just get a Warren Soultrader. And that sets me up to be able to combo next turn. Whoops. Tap for black. Let's get in. I'm going to get a bunch of blockers left over afterward anyways. And I can actually get in with the Knight, too. And we are going to jump the Knight. And this is actually the win is... Yeah, this is the win. Oh, this is just going to nuke their, whatchamacallits anyways. Okay, that's fine. This is going to nuke their bridge from belows. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, this is totally fine. This nukes their bridges. And then this should just give us the win anyways. Because what I can do now is we will sacrifice Knight Errant and play Marionette Master. We'll fabricate seconds, make a servo, and then we will sacrifice the servo. Always yield to this ability. Always yield to this ability. And then start the Gravecrawler shenanigans. And I think our opponent saw what happened and scooped up. Alright, nope, opponent hasn't scooped up yet. Sack for black, cast Gravecrawler, sack Gravecrawler, Play Gravecrawler. Alright, we've actually established the infinite combo a few times now, which is nice. Play Gravecrawler. And this is truly infinite due to the fact that I have the Guide of Souls as well, so the 1 life that I'm paying I'm getting back from every cycle anyway, so... Alright, we got there. Now we gotta do this on the draw, now that I actually also know what we're doing. So, I think we just run it back. Alright, what can we do here? This can kind of go wide and start doing the Ocelot Pride stuff, so I think we're going to keep this. It also can get rid of whatever their first thing they put on the battlefield is. Ooh, what are they going to name off of Cabal Therapy? Grafdigger's Cage. Nope, I do not have that in my deck. I can get rid of their land, too, which actually might not be a bad idea to start. Yeah, I think we're actually going to start with that. Just reset the game. They're down 2 cards. I'm down 1. Damn, they had another land. Another Swords to Plowshares. I like that. Do they have the Otherworldly Gaze to go with this? Possibly? Yes, they do. Okay. So they start their shenanigans in the graveyard. Hopefully they don't hit any dredgers yet. Bridge from Below Stinkweed Imp. Okay. They did not dredge. Oh, they're going to Careful Study. Okay. Nothing to come back to use this Cabal Therapy yet. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so they're going very fast here. They hit 1 Narcomoeba? They hit 1 Narcomoeba off of all of that. Okay. It's very bad if they name Swords to Plowshares here. Okay. Look at Poxwalker's back. They are kind of stonewalled into not attacking, though. They could also Dread Return, which basically just replaces all the zombies. Orcish Bowmasters. Okay. That is the only... No, there's another Cabal Therapy. Shit. Alright, so we have problems, because they're going to be able to name Swords to Plowshares now. Yeah. I think they just got off to too fast of a start, because now they're going to be able to basically dredge the rest of their deck, unless we hit another whatchamacallit here, but they're already so far ahead on board at this point. Yeah. If they want to, they can Dread Return back and go Gary Gravecrawler or something. I mean, we'll see what our draw is, but they just had too fast of a start, I think. Yeah, they're returning to Grave Troll. They actually could do this again. I thought I saw another Dread Return in here, too. No, let's see what we draw. Is it even relevant? Guide of Souls does something. It does start letting me make blockers, at least. Which kind of makes it harder for them to do things, but they're probably going to go into the Sawataru combo from here. So, I don't know, we'll see. It makes their blockers a little bit more awkward, or their attacks, but they're probably going to just Cephalid Coliseum here, dredge the rest of their deck, and then Sawataru. Well, who knows? They might only have 1 Dread Return, so... That being said, any attack they make, their whole graveyard gets nuked. Unfortunately, this is 20 damage if I only block 1 thing. Really, they're Otherworldly Gazing. Into another Narcomoeba. Okay. If that's all they're attacking with, then I just jump block with a cat token and we're good. Alright, they saw that they can't do that. They're gonna get a bunch more off the Icarid, which sucks. They have all 4 of them, so they're gonna try to wait until they can go wide enough that... let's see here. If I could hit a Chthonian Nightmare, that would be the absolute best thing possible. Into a land, yeah, we're just dead here. Good game, opponent. Good game. Just super fast dredge start there, unfortunately. Because they got enough to be able to just go wide of everything I'm doing here. Alright, on to the next one. Alright, this is a disruptive hand. So I think we're going to keep it. Also, multiple bodies to be able to convoke out a Knight Errant a little early. Lost a die roll again, which is unfortunate, but unfortunately not seeing as many blue-based tempo decks as I was hoping, which is specifically what this deck preys on. But this is hope that maybe this actually is a deck like that. I'm thinking we start off with Shadowy Backstreet. Since we're not doing anything else anyways turn 1 unless we draw something. Oh! Is this just Reanimator? This is giving me blue-black Reanimator vibes, which again is combo and not good for us. Luckily they can only take 1 Static Prison. They took a Static Prison. And then chose not to do anything. Okay, interesting. We're gonna do this, see what we hit off the top here. Another Marionette Master. I don't want them to have that. And it's more bodies, so I think I am actually just going to keep that on top. It's interesting that they got rid of an Atraxa, though. What is this, just Entomb into Reanimate? Probably. What are they entombing? Gristlebrand, probably? Archon of Cruelty, okay. That's not the worst thing it could be? Unless they've got another discard spell for this other... Yeah, they have another discard spell for the other one, okay. So there goes the other Static Prison. Into Reanimate. We're just gonna go to the next one because we know our top card is dead. So we'll just go to the next game here. Yeah, this deck is not designed with combo decks in mind. Like, it has a little bit of hate for combo in the sideboard, but it's definitely not what it was designed for. That being said, basically just bringing that whole pile right there. Chthonian Nightmares, I don't think we want. Unless from one Night Captain. Everything else seems pretty relevant here, so let's try that. Alright, let's go. Get something good going here. I've got 2/3 of the combo, but I have no hate for them just, like, powering out a turn 1. I think we're going to try it and see if we can get the combo going. Or see if we can go wide enough that it doesn't matter. They kept 7, though, which is scary. Maybe they kept a more disruptive hand, is kind of what I'm hoping here. Grab a Scrubland. I'm not anticipating Wastelands being a thing here. Like, if they just kept a turn 1 and we're dead, so be it. Okay, they're gonna unmask. Chucking an unmask. We'll see what they value here. I'm assuming they take the Ocelot Pride, but I could be wrong. Okay, they did take the Ocelot Pride. I had a feeling they would. Wasteland. Interesting. I was not expecting Wasteland out of this deck. And they did keep a disruptive hand, not a fast one. Orcish Bowmasters is interesting. Unfortunately, I can't do anything right now. Luckily, anything that I play at this point basically replaces its own energy cost. Damn, that would have been nice to have a Bowmaster for. Chose not to shuffle off of the Ponder, okay. Ooh, I like swords. So there's no point writing anything out yet. This telegraphs that we drew something relevant. I would like to be able to get this Bowmaster down before I have to swords, because the swords blows our only colored mana source without replacing itself. But we'll see what they do here. Alright, they just played a land and they're passing the turn. They might have morphed onto a show and tell version. I'm very much hoping that they don't have Force of Will over there. They do have blue, so it's very possible. Okay. They don't have show and tell. Or Force of Will. Always yield to this. Like I said, this at least replaces the mana. That's the combo. Attack with all creatures. I'm a little concerned about them just show and telling in something and me not having an answer. So I think I'm still multiple turns away from the combo anyway, so I think I'm still just going to pass the turn here. Because if they show and tell in, I can put Warren Soultrader in, swords whatever they show in, with the trigger on the stack. And then one colored source gets me the combo. Or they Psychic Frog, and they're trying to win that way. Which, do I want to swords the Psychic Frog now? They decide they like whatever was on top. Yeah, I think it's worth swordsing the frog here. They're chucking stuff into the yard, which is fine-ish. I guess that means they have a reanimation spell, but Archon is probably the least of my problems. Another Guide of Souls. Let's get this down then. We're still trying to get to the point where we can go ahead and just outclass this. We have something free to chuck. We actually could chuck the Gravecrawler even if we wanted to. Attack with all creatures. Let's get in. Basically, if they reanimate this Archon, we just need a, whatchamacallit, untap land and we win. Animate dead? Yes, no, maybe? If they try to show and tell something, then I just put Warren Soultrader in and we go to town. Okay, they're petty thefting the Bowmaster. So what, then reanimating Archon? Yes. Okay, untap land and we win. If we get an untap land, we just win. We'll just sacrifice this guy, that's fine. Chuck the Gravecrawler. Untap land and we win. That's what it comes down to. As long as they don't have a... Oh, god damn it. Okay. So I'm assuming this means they take the Soultrader then. Nope, they took the Bowmasters. Okay, untap land and we can still win. As long as they don't have a daze. Alright, untap land? Untap land? Untap land? Untap land? Untapped land, yes. Just don't have a daze. All right, and we got there. Sack the servo. That on the bottom. Or, whoops. Always yield to this. Always yield to this. Cast the Gravecrawler. All right, we got there. All right, holy shit, I can't believe we got there. Alrighty then. Now we just gotta do that again on the draw. I think I want to bring the Chthonian Nightmares back in, since they're going to be discarding our stuff too. Let's just take more of the Night Captains out. Let's do 3 Nightmares, take the Night Captains out. Let's try that. I think we'll keep this. We have double Swords to Plowshares. Opponent's keeping on 7 as well. And if they discard Ocelot Pride, we have Chthonian Nightmare to hopefully get it back later. I think we're going to keep this. Alright, opponent didn't keep a turn 1. Alright, I like Marionette Master. That gives me something to do if Ocelot Pride dies. I think we're going to play Ocelot Pride, actually. Just get it out there. Like, if it dies, we can swords whatever our opponent plays to kill it. Alright, they're entombing something. I'm going to guess it's probably an Atraxa. No, they're doing the Archon thing again, which is fine. Because if this dies, then I can just get it back later anyways. Okay, that's fine. Let's get rid of the Wasteland, I think. Because Archon's about to die permanently. And they've been a frog. We have an answer to that as well. Another Ocelot Pride. I don't hate that. Let's start out with swordsing this. At this point, I kind of just want lands. Gravecrawler will keep... I think we'll throw that in the bin. It's fine in the graveyard. And next turn, we'll probably Ocelot Pride hold up the other Swords to Plowshares. Okay, just reanimating the frog. That's something else I can kill, no problem. Probably make them commit to chucking cards to it before I kill it. Play Ocelot Pride. I could also just Static Prison it, but... No, we'll pass the turn. We'll hold up the Swords to Plowshares. I was thinking we could Static Prison it, just to get out of the way, but I'd rather them commit a bunch of cards to it before I kill it. Alright, they're getting in. Move to blocks. They're giving me the option to block it. Alright, swords it. Alright, they're brainstorming, probably looking for something to try to save it, or to try to set up for something else. Okay, Dazes are in the deck. We still have another answer to it, though. And how much more are they going to chuck into it? They're not. Okay. That's fine. They like whatever they saw, kept it on top. Well, we're gonna start off with a Static Prison to get rid of the Psychic Frog. Yep, get rid of Frog. Let's get in, start getting some Deuterinos. Start gaining some life back. Ooh, Fatal Push. That's unfortunate. Okay. Well, I guess we're gonna have to Chthonian Nightmare that back. It's another frog. Yes, it is. Annoying. Really wish they had banned this stupid card. Alright, there's another land. Yes, pay for it. Let's go ahead and just drop one of these bad boys for now. We are still in a position where, like, we're basically a land, or a Warren Soultrader away from being able to win. Unfortunately, we already used our Shadowy Backstreet, so we don't have any selection anymore, but... This is a free block. I have another one. I don't want them getting a card. I deal some damage. If I get another land, I can Chthonian Nightmare and Marionette Apprentice. Reanimating my Gravecrawler. Okay, so they're trying to make it so that I can't combo? Well, that's mostly fine. We have seen Wastelands out of this opponent. We already have... Well, no, it doesn't really matter at this point. An untapped land would be nice just to be able to do everything. Or just grab another Gravecrawler. I suppose that's fine. Yes, pay for this. Play Chthonian Nightmare. Because I need the mana to be able to keep this frog off the battlefield. Fatal Push the Marionette Master. Okay. I can get it back. Play Gravecrawler. Get back... Let's get back the Master. Because this still sets me up for being able to potentially do things. And it lets me replay the Chthonian Nightmare next turn as well. Casting an Entomb. Alright. Dothy Voidwalker. Interesting. Do they have another reanimation spell, or are they just setting up for it? Alright, they do have it. So the combo route is out now. We'll just take the 4. I don't like them getting a card, but I kind of need this servo to survive. This is a very, very grindy Reanimator match. Alright, there's another land, so I can actually kind of do everything here. Yes, pay for that. Do this. I have everything I need anyways. I don't think it really matters what I get here. Let's do this. And then we're gonna play this. Hopefully they don't have a daze. They do, it's annoying. Okay, they don't. Servo. We're going to get back Ocelot Pride. Sack the servo token. And now I'm just kind of getting to the point where I'm just trying to build my board up here. And just try to chain these together for a few turns. They're going to have to start eating their graveyard to be able to jump this frog as well. At 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So one more turn and I start being able to go wide with Ocelot Pride. However, I still need to answer to the stupid frog. Alright, opponent's just cantripping, trying to find something to do here. Found something they liked. Another Dauthi Voidwalker, so they're going to try to go wide as well. Got it. Well, there goes my Chthonian Nightmare, unfortunately, but our opponent is now Hellbent, so their frog cannot realistically attack here. But they're... Wow, they're getting in with a Gravecrawler. Interesting. I mean, I'll snap block the Gravecrawler. It's a free block, just to get it off of the battlefield. Take 2. Unfortunately, this does mean that Static Prison is going to eventually tick down and they'll get another frog. Or I just have a Orcish Bowmasters here. Okay, well, the Ocelot Pride is a free attack, so we're going to get in with it. And this gets me to the City's Blessing to start getting a bunch of dudes. Which, that's fine. And then get this in to finish it off before it does its damage. To make another dude. And then I make another Orc Army token, I think? Right? No, it doesn't count the Orc Army token, apparently. I thought it did. Why does it not copy the Orc token? That's an interesting interaction. Alright, so the opponent does have a 3-turn clock, because I've got an Ocelot Pride that's gaining me life. But I've got a hell of a crackback here. Into another Psychic Frog. Okay. Alright, what do I got here? Ugh, that Plains doesn't do anything, unfortunately. I gotta do this. Alright, so what do I do here? If I swing out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, it's 8 damage. One thing dies. I go up to 6. I think this is just death. I don't think I can come back from that. I'm trying to think if there's anything I can do here, because they'll block the Ocelot Pride, I'm sure. And I don't have any tricks with it. And this is just death right here. I mean, I guess math is for blockers. Let's just swing out and find out what happens. This was super, super close. Very disappointing loss. They're just taking it. Okay, I mean, I think that's still death also, because it puts them to 3. And they have 6 on the crackback. Yeah. If I had a Guide of Souls, this would be entirely different. But they also have enough to be able to jump the frog. Let's make them do it. Let's make them remember to jump the frog before they attack. Because if they fuck up, then I can win here. Nah, they're jumping the frog. They got it. They saw the line. Yeah, disappointing. Good game, opponent. Good game. Alright, I'm back. Had to go run some errands and get some shit done outside of this. So coming back to finish the league out a few hours later. I on to the last round, already got the negative record, won the die roll. We're just playing for fun, seeing if we can do better with this one than we did with the other one that we had here. So this is part of our combo. It's mildly disruptive, but it's not super aggro. I'm tempted to keep it just because we've got mana, but I think we gotta ship this one. It's just not good enough. Okay, this one we can keep. We've got all of our colors, Guide of Souls plus Gravecrawler, so we can start kind of trying to do some shenanigans here, potentially, so we're going to keep this. Opponent begins with 7. Please forgive the stampeding sounds in the back. We are dog-sitting our neighbor's corgis for the weekend. Seeing as I can get all of my colors here, I think I'm going to put the Prismatic Ending, or the Prismatic Vista back for right now, so I can either fetch a basic... Well, no, I guess I kind of have to fetch a basic here if I want to be Wasteland-proof. Because I want to start off on Guide of Souls. I want to keep the Wasteland just in case it's relevant. seeing as I don't know what our opponent's on, I do want to get a non-wastelandable land to start. So we'll play the land, play the Guide of Souls, pass a turn. Next turn, we will cast one of the Gravecrawlers, probably, unless we see a land that we absolutely need to wasteland. Okay, Island. So Wasteland probably isn't super relevant this game. I would love to see, like, a Bowmaster off the top or something here. Or, like, an Ocelot Pride. Knight Captain or Knight Errant of Eos. That's fine. That we could actually evoke that out next turn. We'll just get him for now. Play one of our Gravecrawlers. Kind of just stick with the plan. Alright, get in. Get our damage. Play a Gravecrawler. Always yield to the energy and life gain. Hopefully our opponent is on a slower, fairer blue deck. So, like, next turn, we can play another Gravecrawler and then evoke out the Knight Errant. Hoping that we find some more of our combo pieces. Assuming our opponent doesn't just, like, pop off or do anything too crazy here. But it doesn't seem like they are yet. Brainstorm, yeah, whatchamacall would have been great there. Bowmaster. Alright, opponent's shuffling away the Brainstorm. Looks like they might be mono blue something here. So this Wasteland isn't going to find any purchase. That being said, mono blue could mean High Tide, which we do not really have a good plan against. Other than hope that we can combo out on them. Another Knight Errant makes me think, let's just go ahead and try for one. If they counter it, hopefully they don't have a counter for the other one. And hopefully this can find us our combo pieces and present a clock. An Ocelot Pride, not exactly what I was going for here. Client is lagging very badly all of a sudden. Alright, client came back. Grab the Ocelot Pride. That we can start going super wide now. Assuming we don't just get comboed out, but like seeing mono blue screams High Tide or some kind of unfair combo deck to me. And 3 lands is kind of the point where they can go crazy, unfortunately. Our opponent's still not doing anything yet. Alright, I'm very concerned that all they've done is play a single Brainstorm. They're doing something in our end step. Okay, they're gonna dress down? Okay, interesting. So they just don't want me getting any more value this turn, I guess. Like, they don't want me to jump something, I'm assuming? A Swords to Plowshares. Okay, well, since we're not doing anything anyways, we're just gonna swing in. Because we will save all of our important creatures for later. Let's get some damage in. Maybe this is like a mono blue Stifle Knot deck? I mean, they are just staring down lethal next turn. If they can't do anything. I'm trying to, like, normally High Tide doesn't have main deck dress downs. So I'm curious what this is. Okay, it is High Tide. And they're probably going to pop off from here. There is a fizzle rate to this deck. Yeah, today apparently is just combo day. Alright, so they're going to find whatever instant they want. Do they not have a payoff? Another High Tide, so they have infinite mana. What are those last... Okay, they're digging. Chose not to shuffle, so I'm guessing that means they found something. Alright, there's the Time Spiral. We're going to just give them, like, this one shuffle to see what happens. Ooh, that is interesting. I'm sure they have counter spells in their hand, but we will find out. There's a High Tide. We're just gonna flash this in now so that we can get our F6 value. If they got the counter, they got a counter, that's fine. No, they don't. That is scary for them, because now they cannot Time Spiral. And this shuts down most of their cantrips, unless they can find a way to win through this. Or they just randomly have a bounce spell. Okay, they have a bounce spell. Sink into Stupor. That is unfortunate. Okay, so I value my time too much to keep going. They got it. They had an answer for our one piece of hate. So we're just going to go to the next one. There's always the possibility that they fizzle, but I value my time too much to just sit here and see. Like, Mind's Desire is a non-definitive win con. If you see my channel, you kind of know my opinion on whatchamacallit, Mind's Desire as a Storm finisher. That being said, let's bring in all of this. Recurring or Chthonian Nightmare is kind of pointless here. Swords is completely pointless. There's nothing we're going to be swordsing. We can keep in Static Prison as a energy source and as a way to get rid of like a Candelabra or something, but bring in the Mindbreak Traps, Deafening Silences, Thoughtseize. and then just hope that we can get there. Alright, we have a Mindbreak Trap and, like, nothing else going on here. And we don't need Mindbreak Trap on turn 1. So we're gonna ship this. A no-lander we have to ship, unfortunately. It sucks we're already going to 5 again. Okay, this we can keep. I don't think we need the Wasteland, and let's put back the secondary Gravecrawler, and we're just gonna hope that double Ocelot Pride plus Mindbreak Trap is enough to get us there for now. Grab a Scrubland. I don't think we gotta worry about Wastelands in this matchup. Luckily, these decks typically give us a few turns to be able to set up. Because like I said, the 3 mana is kind of the magic moment where they're actually able to do things. There's a Static Prison, which isn't going to do anything right now. I mean, luckily we can go pretty wide pretty quickly here, but I don't know if it's going to be quick enough is the problem. Because we have a single Mindbreak Trap to help us out here. However, we are up to 5 permanents on turn 2. I also don't know if this is a version that's going to have a Medallion. It might be a version that has Candelabra. I don't know. There's so many versions of High Tide Storm. Like, if they just, like, play a Medallion here and pass, that'd be great. Or, like, play a Candelabra or something. Something I can hit with the Static Prison would be great. Alright, just still sculpting their hand for now. A Deafening Silence off the top would be great. They chose to shuffle, so that's a good sign. Gravecrawler, so we're just continuing on the aggro route and hoping we can establish a board presence and kill them as quickly as possible. This is a very precarious situation with a single layer of protection. I mean, we have a clock, though, which is nice. Alright, they're merchant scrolling. I'm assuming for a High Tide. No, a Brainstorm. So they're still looking for what they need to go off here. We have a 2-turn clock, though, so they're going to have to try to go off next turn. And the hope is that a Mindbreak Trap gets us through and they have nothing. Either that or we need to top deck a Static Prison. Or not Static Prison, a, whatchamacallit, Deafening Silence. Knight Captain... So what? I could evoke this out, but it finds me creatures. That doesn't actually solve anything here. I mean, we've got a 2-turn clock regardless of what happens here. We're just at the mercy of what they do here. I mean, we're just going to run out the Gravecrawler. And we're going to hope that this one Mindbreak Trap is enough to get us through this. Alright, opponent. Was your Brainstorm able to get you what you needed? There's the High Tide. How much protection do you have? That's 1 spell. 2 spells. So I think I want to try to Mindbreak Trap the untapped spell. 7 mana. 4 mana. Okay, we'll let him Brainstorm. We're still just going to go for trying to stop the payoff here, or the untap, to tap them low. And just hope that they don't have counter magic here. Snap, untap 2 lands. Okay, that's fine. It's not a counter spell, and it's not running them out of mana. Turnabout, okay. I mean, that's just tapping a bunch of lands, and they still have the mana to do stuff after that anyways. I just want to try to run them out of stuff to do. Like, if they get down to 1 card in hand and we can Mindbreak Trap them. Alright, there's a Merchant Scroll. They're looking for an instant. I mean, if it's a Force of Will, so be it. I don't know what they're looking for here. Another Brainstorm. Dress Down. Okay. There's the Brainstorm. Are they just searching for the win con here? I mean, they're on the turn where they have to win this turn or they die. Another Turnabout. Okay, that's just more mana. So they've got 2 cards left. What do they have? Alright, they didn't have it. Okay, they could not find the win. So we just run it back. Like, run it back. Alright, so we got a super aggro hand, but only a 1-lander, so I think we gotta ship this. This is a turn 2 Bowmaster, so I think we're gonna keep this. Let's put back the Knight Captain. Like, we are relying on this Orcish Bowmasters really bad, but it is what it is sort of thing. We are also set up to do a turn 3 combo if we can find the Warren Soultrader. Or we can Thought Seize them, which I think they normally can't go off turn 1. But let's just Thought Seize them to start. Like, this Gravecrawler isn't doing anything currently. Alright, opponent's Brainstorming, that's fine. was a very quick brainstorm. Lorien reveal, Ponder, Mind's Desire. We take the Ponder, take their card draw. They don't have a counter, which means we should be able to slam this Orcish Bowmasters. Alright, there's that, yeah. So, unless they drew a counter right then and there, we should be able to just slam this Orcish Bowmasters right off the bat. Ooh. And a Deafening Silence? You know what? Change of plans here. We're just gonna slam this first. Ooh, and it resolves into that. Okay, that should buy us some time, because they have to find an answer to Deafening Silence, and this should give us a chance to get those Orcish Bowmasters down. There's a Guide of Souls. I like that. Let's play the Guide. Play a Wasteland. And then end of their turn, we will flash in the Bowmaster. Alright. It's playing out lands. Okay, they're finally doing something here. If they cast a cantrip, that's their one spell for the turn. Nothing yet. Yeah, we're just gonna flash in the Bowmaster. Get our mana. Or our life and our energy. And this is going... Ooh, another Deafening Silence. Okay. No, hold on. We gotta cast the Marionette Master first. Or Marionette Apprentice. And they scoop it up. They just can't deal with the lockpiece. Alright, cool. Going out on a high note. Taking down High Tide Storm. A little disappointed with the record overall, but this was definitely a much stranger league meta-wise than I was expecting. But, yeah, we will get into that in the wrap-up. Alright, so, unfortunately another not great showing for the energy decks here. I still am going to say what I said about the Boros one. I don't think this was a truly representative league of the power level of the deck. I did much better in testing than I did through the league, finding that I ran into more of the blue-based mid-range tempo-y decks, which is kind of what this was built to prey on. And the league that we just ran was very combo-centric, which I don't think is indicative of Legacy going forward. I think it was just a quirk of that particular league. That being said, as a combo player personally, I'm glad to see combo is coming back now that Grief is gone. But the deck itself, it felt really good when it wanted to do what it wanted to do. Compared to the Boros version, it felt like it had much slower starts and was a little more unfocused, I guess you could say, seeing as it did have the aggro elements, but it also had the combo that didn't really synergize particularly well with the aggro side of things. So like the Boros version had much more consistent, fast aggro starts compared to this one, but I liked the ability that if the ground gets stalled out, you have an ability to backdoor a win in the way that the Boros version doesn't have. It still felt very clunky with the mana, just like the Boros one did, but that's kind of something that's indicative of a non-blue deck in Legacy. Since you don't really have card selection or manipulation of any sort, you're going to run into mana problems and you're going to be at the mercy of the top of your deck. That being said, it felt really good against the blue tempo-based decks. Even that blue-black Reanimator deck, when they morphed onto their tempo game plan, it felt really competitive. It still felt very weak to combo the way that the Boros one did. Even with the actual sideboard card specifically meant for combo, it still felt very susceptible and weak to it, and you were kind of just hoping one piece of interaction was going to be enough. But that's kind of just a weakness of aggro decks in general, is they typically fold to combo, because especially spell-based combo, because you don't really have a good way to interact with it. And they can just kind of win out of nowhere, whereas you're actually trying to win through combat damage for the most part. But the deck felt great. I definitely think it is an option you can go with going forward. Personally, I like the way this version felt better than the Boros versions did. But again, I don't think this league was particularly representative of the power level of this deck. I do think it is a good deck. I like the fact that it can be aggro or combo, and I like the options there. I definitely like the black better than the red splash personally, but if you're more of an aggro player, I would go red. If you're more of a combo player, I would go black. But that being said, I hope you all had fun watching this. I had a ton of fun playing it. I will catch you all in the next video, and as always, stay salty. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you like what you saw. If you did, do me a favor, hit that like and sub button below. They are free ways to support the channel. And drop a comment, let me know what you like. Any kind of feedback you got, your opinions on my gameplay, the decks that I play, any of that kind of stuff. If you really like what you see, go ahead and drop by the Patreon. Become a patron, get to read some of my tournament reports and some stuff going on outside of just Magic in my life that I'm going to start putting over there as kind of my own personal blog. Also, you can do donation deck lists over there, just the price of a league if you have a specific deck you want to see, or you have an idea you want me to brew around, something like that, go ahead and do that. Nothing is required. It's always appreciated, though. Any donations go directly back into the channel, covering stuff such as leagues for donation decks or the rental program that I'm a part of. I am a small-time YouTuber. I'm doing this for fun. I really hope you all like what you saw. I truly appreciate you all stopping by. I will catch you all in the next video, and as always, stay salty.